Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope everyone fine. Are you ready for the class today? Good. So, in grade 9 computer science, we are going to continue with the same chapter 2, that is hardware and software. Okay. So, this time I have given the content page for your clarification. So, this is the content of unit 1, that too chapter 1 and chapter 2 I have given. So, you can see the chapter 1, that is a computer system. In that, already we have seen this in the first video class. Do you remember that? Introduction to computer, uses of computers in everyday life, then limitations of computer, performance of computer, memory measurement, characteristics of computer, applications of computer, functioning of a computer, then binary concept. This all under chapter 1. Then in chapter 2, hardware and software, we have seen input devices. Okay, then processing device, output device, here in the right side storage device, then software and relationship to hardware, that diagrammatic representation, then types of software, isn't it? Then pre-written software, then operation of software, system control programs, then common operating system tasks, then last previous class we have seen utility of software and also application of software. In that we have seen half, isn't it? So what we have seen in the previous class, utility software. Do you remember that? Disk management, disk defragmenters, disk cleaners, disk checkers, backup utilities. Okay, this all comes under this utility software. And also we have seen the application of software. Okay, the two types. One is general application, another one is specific purpose application software. Okay, so in general application, whatever we have seen, spreadsheet, data management, word processing, desktop publishing, graphics, then software suites. So these all we have seen in the general purpose application software. So this week we are going to continue with the specific purpose application software. Are you ready, dear? Good. So in specific purpose application software, the first thing we are going to see is accounting management. So before that, already I told you that specific purpose application software is nothing but it is also a software that is specifically used in some areas, not generally in all the platform. Okay, first you have to clear in this. So this is specifically used for some limited areas alone. Okay, so usually does that one thing much better than a general purpose. Do you remember this line? Yes, like TurboTax, and it is one of the special purpose application. Like this we are going to see that applications where it is used. In that, first one is accounting management. So accounting management, nothing but business. Okay, it is used in this management techniques, and also it will control and report on a financial health of the organization. Okay, this involves the analysis, planning, implementation and control of programs designed to provide financial data reporting. Okay, so you can see that what are all the things they have given in the accounting management. This includes maintenance of bank accounts. So usually if a company is there, what are the works? They have to maintain the bank accounts, developing financial statements, cash flow, that credit and debits, and financial performance analysis. So these all comes under the accounting management. Just to know what it is. Okay, no need to muck up this everything. We have to know where the application is used. Okay, then reservation system, where the reservation will be. Could you imagine reservation where we will reserve? In airline tickets, for example train tickets. So in reservation areas, so computer reservation system, CRS, is a computerized system used to store and retrieve information and conduct the transactions related to air, railway and road travel. Okay, modern systems typically allow users to book hotel rooms, rental cars as well as airline tickets. So if you are planning to move to some area, by with the help of the internet itself, in home we will be booking the tickets. Okay, even in that place we will be booking the hotel rooms also, tickets, everything that comes under this area. Then HR management. What is that HR? If any relatives are there, if they are working in the IT field, you can ask them what is HR. That is human resource management. Okay, HR is nothing but human resource management. It includes variety of activities like deciding what staffing needs you have and whether to use independent contractors, hire employees to fulfill these needs, recruiting, training best employees, ensuring the higher performance, okay, performers, dealing with the performance issues. So all everything that related to that employee who are working in that company, this comes under HR. Okay, so it also used to approach the employee benefits and compensation also. Okay, this all comes under here. Then attendance system. So what are the attendance system? Usually in school we will maintain the attendance of your coming. Okay, so like this, there are three components that make up a time and attendance system. First, barcode readers. Did you see the barcode? Where you can see this barcodes? If you visit the supermarket and you get some products, at the back of the product they will give a line based thing. Okay, that is the barcode. By this, if the cashier clicks on the optical reader over that, it will encode the object in it, what the price of it, isn't it? Do you remember that? Okay, that is the barcode. So barcode readers are used to allow employees to make quick and accurate time transactions. Here the barcode is used for the employees. Okay, so we have seen the example of the items. Okay, so and also second, data can be taken from these devices, needs to be managed and stored by the PCs, that is in the computer. Third, management of time transactions, payroll generation. Payroll I already told you that salary related. Okay, and detailed reports is done by the time and attendance software. Okay, so attendance software comprises of the three things, that is barcode read of the employees, second one data taken from the devices and stored in the PCs, and third one time transaction, that is payroll generation will be graduated here. Okay, so these are the, so in this page what we have seen, that accounting management, reservation system, HR management, attendance system. Okay, so next we are going to see the payroll system. As I told earlier, payroll, what is the payroll? Salary related. Okay, the payroll encompasses every employee of a company who receives a regular wage or other compensation. What is wage? That is salary. And other compensation, they can give some compensation, allowances, like boarding or traveling, whatever it is. Okay, so some employees may be paid a steady salary while others are paid for hours. Okay, for example, if your working time exceeds, for overtime you will be paid extra. Okay, so all of these different payment methods are calculated by this payroll system. Okay, for this alone the payroll system will be used. Then inventory control system. So any piece of equipment or inventory that can be tagged with a barcode label, from a box of pencils to a big screen TV, can be categorized and tracked automatically. So task redundancy will be eliminated, stagnant inventory will be reduced, and the institution will be earning a demonstrable return on its investment. This is also related to the company oriented. Okay, so track equipment costs, location and maintenance schedules. You can monitor your equipment's age, maintenance status and book value, because your software has recorded the original purchase date and price. Okay, you may even calculate the depreciation automatically using a function that you customize to your specifications. Then billing system. So what is the billing system? So system that tracks the customer usage of services and calculates the impact on a customer's account based on the price of the service. Billing system have come to include non-core functionality such as customer management, integration with payment gateways and statistical analysis. So these are the things which related to the billing system. Okay, so in the second page what we have seen, payroll system, inventory control system and billing system. Okay, so again mobile applications. What are the mobile applications? Mobile phones like computers, electronic machines, everything. So nowadays everybody are using the mobile phones. Okay, can do virtually everything that a computer can do. It's a we can say that it is a small computer in our palm, isn't it? So some of the differences between a desktop computer and a mobile phone are given here. So mobile phones are smaller in size. The app written for mobile phones should occupy less space. The apps should hog less power in mobile phones. So compared to the computer, that is PCs, if the mobile phones apps will use reduced space. Okay. And also you can see that nowadays you will be able to browse in the Google Play Store, isn't it? And you will see what app you want and you will be installing that in your mobile. Okay, so everybody will be familiar in this, I think. So all kinds of apps are available in the Play Stores. In some cases the apps may be paid ones also. You will be clear in that, isn't it? You will be looking for the free apps, whether it is paid or the free app. Okay, then you can also install or uninstall whatever you want. Then bank management apps like electronic wallet apps, word processor apps, games and share market apps are also available, that we will not be familiar about that because the company related, this all the comes under specific purpose application software, isn't it? So the company oriented IT fields, they will be using all these apps. Okay dear. Okay, after this we will be learning about the programming software. Okay, so far we have learned the specific purpose application software. In the last previous class we complete the general purpose application software. Here specific purpose application software we have completed. Now programming software. Okay, so there are different classes of programming software out there. Okay, in that first one, text editor. Okay, what is meant by text editor? It is also a software application because we are dealing with the software, isn't it? So text editor is also a application software. Okay, it is used for editing the plain text. By the name itself you can easily identify it is used for editing the plain text. It is distinguished from a word processor in that it does not manage document formatting and or other features commonly used in desktop publishing. Okay, it is slight different from the word processor and the desktop publishing where we have learnt in the general purpose software. There we have learned this too, and this is different from the desktop publishing and also word processor because it does not manage the document formatting. So it will not deal with the document, it just edit the plain text. Okay, so that is the text editor we have seen already. Here then program. So a program, already program I said it is a set of instructions. Yes, so a program is a sequence of instructions that are executed by a CPU. So while simple processors execute instructions one after the other, superscalar processors are capable of executing several instructions at once. Okay, normally if a C program or C++ or anything is written to the program, this will execute step by step. But here they have given that superscalar processor will be there. Okay, so that will execute all at once, not in a step by step, line by line. It will execute all the instructions, several instructions at once within a fraction of second. Okay, then computer language. What is computer language? So as we human, we are using language for our communication. So like that, computer will also use some languages. Okay, that is, you see, a computer language is a language used by or in association with computers. So often the term is used synonymously with programming language, but in general a computer language doesn't need to be a programming language. Okay, so let me see the computer language and the programming language. Next, programming language. A programming language is an artificial language that can be used to control the behavior of a machine. So we have seen, I think have learnt in grade 8, isn't it, that C program, isn't that is a programming language. For what purpose it is written? To manage the activities of the computer. Okay, isn't it? So same like that here, the programming language is an artificial language that can be used to control the behavior of a machine, particularly a computer. That is, machine here is computer. Programming language, like human languages, have rules to define. So while reading C language, you can have some set of rules, isn't it? Do you remember that? So tokens, identifiers, naming that, keywords, constant, literals, then constructors. So everything, there is some set of rules that is called as syntax. Yes, so Here the programming language surface form is known as its syntax. That set of rules is called as syntax. Okay, so now we are going to learn low level programming language and high level programming language. Here this class we are going to see only the low level programming language. Already you know in your lower class you have studied about the different generations of computer. Do you remember that? First generation, second generation, third, fourth, fifth, then sixth. Now it's called as an artificial intelligence, isn't it? So this in this generations the first two comes under the low level programming language. Okay, so low level programming language was sometimes divided into two categories, that is first generation and second generation. Let me see. So first generation, so what is that first generation? Machine language. Okay, machine language is the lowest level computer language consisting of the internal representation of instructions and data. Okay, so first generation is the machine language. So keep in your mind that is machine code. The actual instructions understood and directly executable by the central processing unit. Okay, it is only, what is that machine language? It is composed only by the binary digits, that is 0 and 1. Okay, that is the machine language. So it's the only programming language that the machine actually understand. So therefore machine language is considered the first generation language. All other languages must be translated into machine language before the computer can run the instruction. In whatever language we write the program, whether it is C, C++, Java, whatever, nowadays Python, Scratch, so much is emerged. So even though we write in different languages, that different programming languages, it is lastly converted into machine language for the understanding of the computer. So here you see, last year you could read that terminologies, source code, object code. Do you remember that? Okay, that source code is nothing but the user oriented language, that is called source program. And what is the object program? After converting into the machine language is called the object program. Here they have given the set of instructions written in an user-oriented language is called a source program, and the set of instructions produced after translation into machine language is called the object program. Okay, then second generation. So what is that second generation? That is assembly language. So after machine language it comes the assembly, that is the next level up from the machine language. So it is still considered as a low level language, but it is more user friendly because it represents the machine language instructions and data in primary storage by using the mnemonics or memory aids. Okay, so this is easy for us to understand. It is easy for the people to understand that and use it. Okay, so each statement in an assembly language still be translated into a single statement in a machine language, and assembly language is still hardware dependent. It depends upon the hardware which is used. Okay, so translating the assembly language to the machine language is by the means of assembler. Do you remember assembler? Compiler, assembler. So you will be reading this in the coming classes. Okay, so assembler, the work of the assembler is it will translate the assembly language into machine language. Okay, they have given here an assembler is a computer program for translating assembly language, that is the mnemonic representation of a machine language into a object code. Okay, so the computational step, whereas assembler is known as the assembly time. So this time of converting the assembly language to the machine language is called the assembly time. Okay dear, so these are the things we have seen in this class. Do you remember what we have seen from the first? So last class we have seen general purpose application. This class we have seen specific purpose application software. Then after that we have seen the, what else we have seen? Programming language, program, text editor, everything in that low level programming language, first and second generation we have completed. Okay, so now we reaches the last topic, that is today's activity. List out the specific purpose application software. So what are all the specific purpose application software? Just list out it. No need to explain this. Just you have to know where it is used. Okay. Then define text editor. You have to write what is text editor, what is program, then computer language, programming language, and assembler. You have to write the definition of all this thing. Okay, then write a short note on low level programming language. So what is low level programming language? What are the two categories in that? That is first generation machine language and the second generation assembly language. You have to write down. Okay dear, I hope you understand this class. Then we will be meeting in the next class.